Just eat clean, bro. Just eat clean. That's all that matters. Just eat clean. Do you even know what eating clean means? I mean, you probably think that eating clean just means not having processed foods, just making your food at home, just having a nice balanced diet and eating your veggies. Bro, if you want to see optimal results, you should not be just trying to eat clean. I followed the same advice who just said, oh, eat clean, but they didn't even describe what eating clean means. So I was eating these high carb diets that were filled with seed oils, but they were clean because, but I was making curry at home and the curry had freaking seed oils hiding in it. And I was eating super high carb and I just never got better or never saw any success with my habits or my mental health. I was always depressed and I couldn't seem to lose weight even though I was eating clean. Let me actually tell you what eating clean, or more so what eating optimal is. Eating optimal is being on an animal-based centered diet, whether it's a keto diet, a carnivore diet, a low-carb diet, just anything that makes animal protein at the center of your meal. You see, this is the ancestral diet. This is the diet that our ancestors have followed. This is the diet that humans are evolved to be on, that optimize our hormones. I mean, there's a reason why every young man has low testosterone. There's a reason why we're all depressed. Do you think our ancestors were depressed? There's no chance they were. They were hunting. They were hunter-gatherers. They'd eat heaps of meat. They'd eat berries in season. You need to be on a diet that optimizes your hormones and optimizes your mental and physical health. Bro, our bodies aren't designed to just be eating all these refined grains and all these hyper-processed carbs and stuff. Even stuff that isn't processed, that you wouldn't think is processed. Even like certain vegetables. Like, our bodies aren't designed to be eating these foods that we just would not have been eating hundreds of thousands of years ago. Our bodies aren't designed to digest certain foods. I mean, everyone has reactions nowadays. Everyone's got an anaphylactic reaction to nuts. Or they're allergic to certain things, but no one's allergic to meat. This is because our bodies have evolved on meat. Our brains need meat. Our brain is literally 60% fat and 39% protein. We need saturated fats. Don't listen to the propaganda that saturated fat is bad for you. You need saturated fat. If saturated fat is not making up a decent portion of your diet, then I'm sorry, this whole eating clean thing isn't going to work, because you're not getting the right fat that is a precursor to your hormones by making cholesterol, which is going to make testosterone, and it's going to make you feel like an actual man, or estrogen if you're a woman. If the food wasn't around for the last 1,000 years, chances are don't eat it. Obviously, everyone knows not to eat sugars and Oreos and all this stuff, but there's actually foods that you would consider healthy that aren't good for you, like grains. They've got something called lectins in them and phytic acid, which are actually anti-nutrients, which are actually the plant's way of telling you to stop eating them. You see, in nature, vegetables, they didn't really have ways to defend themselves like animals do. While animals can run away and fight back. You see, vegetables, they're in an evolutionary arms race. They had to defend themselves from animals from eating them, so they induced chemical warfare, and they induced defense mechanisms to stop you from eating them. My doctor literally put me on a low lectin diet. Lectin is an anti-nutrient plant, and it binds to your protein and it actually makes you inflamed. And when I removed the lectins from my diet, the lectins they found in chickpeas, grains, legumes, a lot of my inflammation went. This may sound crazy and you may have not heard it before, but there are some vegetables, and personally for me, I'm going the safe route by cutting them all out. There are some vegetables that you just should not be eating and that are not optimal for you, because we didn't eat vegetables millions of years ago. I mean, there's no way we'd just go to the forest and just eat some random plant. I mean, it was probably poisonous. We'd probably die from it, right? We'd only be eating meat. So, bro, it's not about eating clean, because when I ate clean, I was still depressed. I didn't get good results. You have to find a diet that works for you. And although I would say, it doesn't matter if you're vegan, just find one that works for you. But I'm sorry, it has to be animal-based. It just has to. Because if you don't eat animal protein and animal products, you're missing out on essential nutrients that you need. You're missing out on essential amino acids. You're missing out on creatine, carnitine, B12, bioavailable omega-3 in the form of DHA and EPA. You need these certain fat-soluble vitamins as well that cannot be found in plant products. Jeez, that was a bit of a rant, but I just get so pissed off these YouTubers always saying, just eat clean, bro. Like, eating clean might work for some people, but if you want to see actual optimal results and you actually want to change your life, you need to be eating a diet that optimizes your hormones, one that is ancestrally appropriate, one that doesn't give you brain fog. When I used to eat high carbs, now high carbs may work for you, I'm not fully against carbs, but when I used to eat a high carb diet, I'd always get brain fog because your insulin literally is like this throughout the whole day. But when I switched to a keto or carnivore diet, now my energy is so stable throughout the whole day. I don't get acne, I'm not depressed, my joints aren't inflamed because I'm not eating carbs, which just literally inflames your body. And while people say it's good for putting on size, it's very inflammatory if you're trying to heal and trying to, make progress. and your mental health and your productivity. And you may have not heard of the carnivore diet, or maybe if you did, it actually has every single nutrient you need in all the optimal ratios to thrive on, because our bodies are designed to eat meat. And you may call me crazy to think that meat's got all nutrients. Like, I only thought that meat has protein and iron. When I was trying to like be a bodybuilder and put on heaps of muscle, I only eat meat for the protein content. But little do I know that it's got the whole range of nutrients. You could live on meat alone. I put up a graph right here that shows all the nutrients in a ribeye. That's why I feel amazing. It's got heaps of cholesterol, which is actually good for you, contrary to what you've been told. It's a hard pill to swallow, but we've been lied to. They don't want us to be healthy. They prescribe statins to lower your cholesterol because they're getting hundreds of billions of dollars a year, when 50% of people who have a heart attack actually have low cholesterol. Cholesterol isn't the issue. It's the oxidation from seed oils on the cholesterol particle that is the issue. So then when they, get the scans and they look at their arteries, they look and there's cholesterol in them. Yes, but the cholesterol is not the issue. That's not what clogs the arteries. The fat isn't what clogs the arteries. It's the oxidation from the seed oils and the extensive sugar and glucose, which actually oxidizes the particles and causes the issues. Open your eyes, think for yourself. Look into diet, look into the way our ancestors used to eat, look into what is optimal. And you can look into it, but you will come to find that our bodies need animal protein, and animal protein should make up a majority of your diet. And you just feel great all the time. That's why there's so many crazy testimonies on carnivore, not because we're just cutting out the junk food, it's because we're eating so much fat, so much protein, that is going to give every cell in our body a lot of nutrients it needs to actually heal and to thrive on. And cutting out a lot of the inflammatory stuff like seed oils, carbohydrates, certain vegetables. Some people can't have vegetables. Like, as I said, my doctor told me I'm not allowed to have lectins because when I eat them, I feel terrible. And we don't need fiber. Your fat actually loosens your stool. So just this whole eating clean thing isn't really going to work, bro. Like, if you want to see optimal results, you need to be on an animal-based diet, which I call it the alpha diet. And like any of those diets, keto diet, low carb, high fat, even if your carbs are still moderate, like increase your animal protein. That's the alpha diet, honestly. Raw milk, eggs, if you want honey, foods that are heaps of fat in it, some fruit if you want. Personally, I don't do well in raw milk or honey, so I just go zero carb and just have heaps of steak and eggs and butter. But yeah, this was just some insight from a small, unconventional YouTuber. My name is Daniel Vincent. You're clearly interested in what I have to say. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like and comment below, and it's a win-win for both of us.